Hello.
What's up? Happy fake spring.
Happy fake spring. It's giving me life. I love
Oh,
it.
the seasonal depression is floating away.
Oh.
Oh, sunshine and warmth.
It turns out that's all we needed.
That's all we need. We need to open our windows, we need to go outside, and everything's
Right?
better.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Awesome. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. We're so excited that you're back with us again.
Here again. I'm in a new location today,
Yes.
which is fine.
I love it. I
Thank
love it. I
you.
love it. It's good to
Thank you
mix
so
it
much.
up. So, and
Yes.
we're both in comfy clothes today. So,
When am I not in comfy clothes? Let's be honest.
that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That's true. I have like the standard mom uniform on today, the sweatshirt and the yoga pants, and we're calling it good.
Listen, that's my everyday. Between work and
Mhm.
mom life, athleisure is just
Right?
the way that it goes. I would love to be a dress mom, but I
Hmm.
just am not, especially because we're so busy and we're always running
Yeah.
around and like at the parks and things. And so then I feel like, well,
Yeah.
I can't be a dress. I would love to be a dress mom. Maybe eventually I
Right?
will be, but
Right? See, I get to be both. So
you do.
when I go to work, get to dress, but then like dress up and dress fancy. Then as soon as I get home, instant mom clothes. Like first thing in the door, say hi to everybody and be like, I'm going to change into my comfy clothes.
Yes. You know what? I think it's weird when people wear jeans at home all day long. I'm like, what do you mean
I
you're resting
know.
in jeans? That sounds
I
so
know.
uncomfortable. As soon as I get home, I'm like, off. Jeans out. We go for a date
No.
night and we get home and I'm like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah. I can't do jeans. I don't know if I'm buying the wrong jeans or they're
Oh,
just too tight or what is happening, but I cannot relax
mm-mm.
in jeans. There's
No,
no way. No,
no,
no, thank you.
no, doesn't
Okay,
happen.
so today we're actually going to talk about mom struggles and what we all struggle with as mothers.
Yes. Mom struggles,
Yeah.
mom failures. Let's hear it
Yes.
for the failures,
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Okay, so let's actually start with struggles as far as outfits and our mom uniform versus our not mom uniform, and everything that kind of goes into finding the balance of being comfortable. And obviously, this also depends on the age of your kids. When your kids are
Yes.
little, you're at home more, you need to be on the ground more, playing with them, interacting with them, and it makes more sense. As they get older, you can dress up a little bit more.
Hmm.
But I think, at least for me, the struggle that I have is one, I hate being uncomfortable. Like, I despise being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And in my 40s, as I've entered my 40s, my body has changed significantly to where it's almost like I'm learning this new body that, first of all, I didn't sign up for. So I'm not sure what's happening. And second of all, it kind of is what it is to a certain degree. So I have to figure out the balance of, to be completely honest, most of the time I'm in my husband's sweatshirt and yoga pants, and it's just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Sans makeup, hair up in a top knot, looking like a hot mess express. But then, does that impact my productivity as far as getting things done, or even feeling put together, or feeling not like a slob? So that's kind of what I'm struggling with as far as how do we balance looking put together so that I feel put together and I feel like my best self, so that I can always just pop out to Target without having to go, put 5 minutes of makeup on. Or how do I not look like a hot mess express when I'm picking my kids up from school? But then also really still needing to be 100% comfortable and
Yeah.
finding those pieces that make that. So it's been challenging.
I think
Yeah.
it's really hard, especially as you do kind of go through these transitions and like we're doing
Hmm.
so many different things.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it hard because in the morning you're doing one thing, in the afternoon it looks different, and the evening looks
Hmm.
different. And depending on the activities that you're going to, like you want to feel put together to feel
Yeah.
more productive,
Yep.
but is that even like possible when your kids are so young and like
Yeah.
you just don't have time to do it? Because it does depend on how old your kids are. Because
Yes.
when my kids were younger, like probably until they were 2 and 4, I really did not do my hair. Like that was my
Yeah.
one thing. I gave up. I couldn't do it. It was always in a mom bun. It was always in a claw clip. Like I very rarely would blow dry it because it was just an extra hour where I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't have it. I don't have an extra hour to stand in the bathroom and do my hair and like look really nice. But you do feel more put together. And like
Yeah.
now that my kids are older, I intentionally make time to do that because I do think that it makes a big difference for me.
Right.
Like
Right.
I feel more productive and I feel more put together. And
Well, and okay, so talking about hair.
yeah,
So my hair is always one of those, and people think this is crazy. Well, okay, it's mixed now. I'm starting to see it more common. I only wash my hair and have forever only washed my hair like every 3, 4 to maybe 5, mostly every 3 to 4 days
yeah.
because it takes too long. But that being said, when I do wash my hair, I have the first day of the freshly blown out hair. The second day is still the curly day. The third day, sometimes honestly, is still the curly day because I'm using this new tool. And so it makes it last forever. And then the fourth day is like, okay, depending on what am I doing? Am I going to see clients? Am I just hanging out at home doing, stuff on the computer? Is that a dry shampoo day? Is that a hair up day? But then I do feel bad when I am taking an hour to do with all that goes into it. But when I do my hair, it's an everything shower and it takes an hour to an hour and a half to get everything done. And then I feel bad that I'm taking an hour and a half and I'm like, that's time that I could be like hanging out with the family, or that's time that I should be getting some work done, or that's time that I should be walking on the treadmill, or like there's so many other things that I could be doing with this hour and a half. But also, I need to have clean hair eventually. So
Yeah. It's just that
it's like
mom
a constant
guilt.
struggle. Yes.
Yes. The mom guilt is going into our hair.
Yes.
What is
Uh-huh.
that?
Right? It does. But then I'm like, okay, but also I only do this once every 3 to 4 days. So really, this shouldn't be a big deal. And then do you think that that helps? Like, do you think it impacts your self-confidence as far as being put together? So like we grew up and our mom would always like she still is always
Always.
put together.
Always. Every day.
Always.
Every
It's
day.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by it because I don't know how she does it, to be honest. It's amazing to me where like she's like, okay, let's, we're showered, we're dressed, and she would wear jeans all day. I
All
don't
day.
understand.
Yes.
But she
Yes.
always
Yes.
looked put together. She still
Yes.
looks put together. And I'm like, how did you birth me? Because I never look put together. I don't understand this.
What's really funny is all five of us are
Yeah.
not put together every day, but
Yeah.
she is, and she always
Yes.
was. And
Uh-huh.
it's amazing that she did it when we were younger too, because she did.
I
And
know.
she was
Yeah.
like really fancy, like not just jeans.
Yes.
She was the dress mom, the heel
Yes.
mom, the makeup
Hmm.
and jewelry mom. Like she
Yep.
had it. And all of us are like, I don't know. Feels like a lot.
Right? Now, I will say there are times that I am either in this I'm more on the side of I'm usually the most underdressed in the room. But like if we have like say I have an awards night or anything, somehow I always end up being the dressiest person in the room.
Yes.
So like I go from extreme to extreme, like hot mess express to oh, if you say it's a semi-formal, that to me means a full ball gown with red lips, and here we are. It's Hollywood. Like there's no,
Yes.
I'm struggling with the in between of how do we balance looking put together without having to go to the extreme of an hour and a half on our hair every day and the red lipstick and we're shopping at White House Black Market all the time and we can never repeat outfits, to we're just wearing our husband's sweatshirts, which is like three sizes too big, with our yoga pants and our Ugg slippers, and we haven't, done our makeup in days. So,
You know what? I don't know because I am the exact same way as you, and there's no in between. Like when I'm ready
no.
to get dressed up, and that for me, I think that's why I go to the extreme because I don't
Uh-huh.
dress up on a daily. Like I do bare minimum makeup, hair, like,
Yeah.
and I probably do my hair once a week. I wash my
Yeah.
hair more often than you. Like I can probably push it to every 3 days.
Yeah.
But I only will do it like once a week and then I'll make it last. And
Yeah.
then the other time that I wash my hair, I won't even dry it.
Hmm.
Just it's gonna do its thing and it's gonna be in a claw clip and it is what it is. So I
Yeah.
don't know the extreme either because then when it's time to go to an event, I take it very seriously. Like, okay,
Yes.
hair, makeup, I need time to get ready. I need to wear a
Hmm.
new outfit. Like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the in between is either.
I don't know.
Um, so I'm the wrong person to ask, but we do need to go back to husband's clothing
Oh,
because
okay.
Tyler is a hoarder, like
Yeah.
straight up a hoarder. Okay, so we have our bedroom and he has half the closet in our bedroom. He has
Yeah.
an office and that closet at his parents' house who live 5 minutes down the road. His old room, his closet full of clothes. Like it's crazy. He has
Wow.
more clothes than I do. But so I always wear his sweatshirts because
Uh-huh.
they're there and they're comfortable. And so he
Right.
always tells me that he can't get rid of clothes because I wear his clothes.
Right? I don't know. I think there's just something so comfortable about their clothes. But I love the fact that, honestly, oversized sweatshirts are in. Like,
Yes.
sign me up for it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes,
It's like
I
my
agree.
my absolute favorite. Please do not let that trend go away because I will
Yes.
be so sad when we have to actually wear normal clothes again.
Same. It's just so much comfier. Like, oh, you
Hmm.
can breathe. Oh,
Let's switch to something else that we moms are all struggling with, which is school and failures.
oh my God. It's really funny because okay, Tiffany and I talked about what we were going to talk about today
Uh,
yesterday, and
yeah.
she sent me a thing. We're going to talk about mom failures. We're going to talk about all these things. And no joke, I was at work yesterday, talked to Tiffany in the morning. About an hour, maybe 2 hours later, I got a message from my oldest's teacher, and so I pulled up the school app and I noticed a message from Friday, which told me that Iris earned a pajama day on Monday. And she was already at school, not in pajamas. And
Yep.
I was like, there we go. I did it. I failed.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad that I totally spaced it. That when we went to pick her up, I made Tyler go to her door. They have two different doors. So I
Uh-huh.
made Tyler go to Iris's door because I was like, she's gonna yell at me. I already know it. She's gonna come out and be like, Mom. So I didn't, I had Tyler get her. And she was so distracted that she said nothing. We went and got ice cream because she's been reading really well, so we were proud of her. And so we went
Huh.
to get ice cream and she said nothing. We went home and she said nothing. And I was like, Tyler, I think I got away with it. I don't know what happened, but she hasn't gotten mad. Well, then it was shower, bath, pajama time. She
Hmm.
put on her pajamas and exploded. She remembered. I
Oh
didn't wear
no.
pajamas today. And I was like, I know, I'm so sorry. It's my fault.
Oh.
Like, I messed up. And I'm a pushover. And so, is she wearing pajamas to school today? You bet your ass she is.
I'm sure her teacher was like, it's fine. We're gonna go with this one.
You know what? No shame, okay? It made her happy. It's
Uh-huh.
fine.
It's fine. It's totally fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
So,
I just,
yeah.
there just is a lot of pressure. I don't know how, honestly, teachers do it. And I don't understand how type A moms do this. And again, I am an
Yeah.
admittedly type A person typically, but for some reason, when it comes to school things, I'm like, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
But I'm like, I need to like, there's been the point where we have like dress on days because my kids wear uniforms to school. Where like if we have dress down days, I have to put them in the calendar because
Yes.
otherwise I will forget so that it will remind me the night before, oh, don't forget it's a dress down day. Now, I will say this is finally the year that I didn't put it in the calendar because they are older, so
Hmm.
they now just know to remember. And
Yeah.
again, they tell them on the announcements too. So again, with the older kids, it is more helpful. But when it was like the younger kids, and I would forget like pajama day, or like we always had like Spirit Week where
Yes.
you have to have like five different outfits. You have to find a red, white, and blue shirt. I don't have one.
Yeah. And they're always so
It's
specific. The spirit
mhm,
days are
yeah,
so specific.
yeah, yep, yep. I know. It's a lot, I feel like. Okay, so let's also, since you shared your fail, I will share my biggest fail of the school year.
Oh,
Actually, in a long time, to be completely honest.
proud of
Okay,
you.
this has actually never happened in the 15 years I have been a parent. So, what was it? I think it was just last month, right? I'm pretty sure it's just last month. Um, my alarm was not set. It was a Monday morning. And remember how I'm not a morning person. So my
Hmm.
daughter gets up, kind of does her own thing and whatever. So all of a sudden it's like getting light out. And I'm literally just like, I'm like halfway sleeping. Like I'm sleeping enough that I'm like, well, I'm going to keep sleeping because this is awesome. And I'm halfway sleeping, like, certainly my alarm's going to go off soon, but it hasn't yet. So I'm not going to get up yet. And the sun is like getting lighter and lighter. And my youngest walks into my room with my husband on FaceTime. Because my husband goes to work at like 5:30 in the morning. Okay, so he's like not at home for mornings usually. Like mornings are,
Yeah.
it's my job to get him to school. So they come in and she's like carrying her little iPad and it has like a little, like little carrier with it. And and all of a sudden they hear Kevin go, hi. And I was like, hi, what's happening? And he's like, it's 7:30. And I was like, oh my God. Like my middle had to get to the school. He was supposed to be there like at 7 for a rehearsal. And like it was mass chaos. I have never, ever, ever done that in the 15 years. It was insane.
You know what? I'm really proud of you that you made it that long because I have done that this year
Yeah.
3 times. Okay. And let me tell you, the first time I did it was so bad. We were so
Mhm.
late. I totally spaced, totally forgot to set my alarm. We have to wake up at
Uh-huh.
6:30 for school because we have to leave by 7:15. Okay. So we
Hmm.
have to wake up early for the kids to eat breakfast, all the things.
Hmm.
So I didn't set my alarm and I woke up at 7:15. And I was like, and so we were late. Like, whatever. I was like, just get up, take our time. We're
Yeah.
late. It's not a big deal. My oldest is freaking out that we're late for
Yep.
school. And I'm like,
Yep.
it's literally fine. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal. My favorite part of this story is that I texted Tiffany, oh my gosh, I didn't set my alarm. My kids are late for school. It's my fault. And your response was, you did it! A new milestone. And I was like, yes, yes. I like that mindset. Correct. Thank you. And
New parenting level unlocked right there.
yes. And then I did it like a month and a half ago, but
Uh-huh.
this time I woke up at like 6:50. So I didn't wake up as late. And then I
Yeah.
went into my daughter's room and they're both just sitting there talking on the bed. And I was like, "Why didn't you wake me up?" And my 7-year-old goes, "Well, because I thought we could be late for school again."
See, that's what my youngest daughter did. She was like, wow, I really shouldn't have like called dad because then like we could have just stayed at home. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that was really a missed opportunity on your part. But they
Mhm.
still have not let me forget
Oh
that
yeah.
mom forgot to wake up. It's like, is your alarm set? Are you ready to go? What if you sleep in again? I'm like, you guys are giving me a complex now. And this is going to be the thing that they remember
Yes.
forever. Like, this is going to be, remember that one time that mom did not take us to school on time because she slept in? Like, oh
And it's going to be a story they tell everybody. Well, my mom,
yeah.
she sleeps in so late that she doesn't take me to school sometimes.
Yeah.
Happened once, but they're like, yeah, sometimes my mom does that.
One time. One time. And it happened to be the biggest failure of all.
My third time happened today. Today. This
Oh
morning.
no!
Thankfully, I woke up by myself because I'm a morning person at
Uh-huh.
6:45. But again, I woke up and I was like, wow, it's really bright in here. And I looked at my phone and I was like, dang it. Again.
Okay, but that's not like sleeping in. Like you
No.
still have time to get him to
We were
school.
fine. Yeah, we
Yeah,
were good. We
yeah,
were fine.
yeah, yeah. Although honest, I did have a talk with like my other two, my older two. I was like, your alarm should have been set too. Like this should not just be on me, okay? Like, as you can see, sometimes things go wrong, and that is why we have a plan B, C, D, and E, okay?
Yes. And it's time to pass the torch.
Right?
Your turn. Turn on
It's
your
your
alarm.
turn. You'll figure it out now.
Yeah. See, we're all failing. Look at us.
It's
Good
fine.
job. It's
It's
great.
fine. Okay, so speaking of like Spirit Week and all that stuff, do you know what month is coming up? I need us to all be
Oh.
prepared because every year we always forget. Again,
Mm-hmm.
brain keeps gaslighting us every year. You
Mm-hmm.
guys, it is the end of February, so I am giving you ample warning that you have March and you have April left. Okay. We have spring breaks in there. We have whatever other breaks we have, but we
Mm-hmm.
have March and we have April, and then we have May. And
Oh,
let's talk about May for school people.
the
Okay. So this
marathon.
is your warning. This is your mama warning that it is coming. So let's prepare now so that we're not scrambled come May 15th going, I'm pretty sure that the school hates us. So I want you to check this off. Has your child been Star Student of the Week? Because if they haven't,
Mm.
they're going to be in May. And it's going to be the last week in May when you're pretty much done parenting. I have had that happen before. And I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. Good luck. We're not doing that anymore. I'm done. Like, we're all done. You're going to have the end of the year projects. So I need you to
Oh,
be prepared for that mentally. Go buy yourself some of that poster board now. Just put it aside because you're going to need it. Okay, what else
good
do we have? You're
call.
gonna have a last minute field trip. They're gonna grow out of their sneakers because it always happens. So go get yourself that next size up. Like these are things that we're gonna do now so that we are prepared. This is gonna be the first year that I've actually been prepared for May. I'm determined. So I'm gonna need you all to do this with me
Hmm.
because come May, God bless the teachers. I don't know how you're not done because I'm done. And I'm not even in the classroom every day. I'm pretty sure a few years ago, at one point, well, okay, so it would have been more than a few years ago, but my daughter went to school in May in a full-blown Christmas outfit. You know what? I didn't even care. I was like, it's May. I don't care anymore.
Hmm. Yep. It's
It's
great.
fine. Obviously, that was preschool because now she wears a uniform. Thank goodness for uniforms. So yeah, full blown Christmas. Are we celebrating Christmas in May? Heck yeah, we are. Because honestly, I don't have the fight in me anymore. I'm
Hmm.
tired and I'm just waiting for summer. So
Yeah.
this is your warning. It's coming. You have 2 full months, and then it'll be May 1st, and then we're going to be ready. So we're going to have our
Yeah.
poster board. We're going to have our markers ready to go. We're going to have our school spirit stuff ready to go for your spirit week. Check to see if you need to be that star student because you got to print off your photos for it and
Yeah.
come up with your fun family facts ready to go. Like, let's just be fully prepared.
That is such a good idea to have the poster
I
boards
know.
on deck. Like,
Oh, I know.
that's a seasoned mom move for sure.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
applause.
Now, okay, here's how long it took me. Last year was the first year that I ended up buying it in bulk because it was another last minute project.
Genius.
Uh,
That is a great idea. I need to do that. Yeah, smart. We need to talk about dinner because,
oh,
dude, not even just dinner. The fact that we have to decide what the whole family is eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of my life. It's
I
like,
didn't sign up for this. Okay.
ah!
I want to see the contract that said that I was supposed to be in charge of this because I did not agree to these terms.
It is so hard. Not
It's
only do you
impossible.
have to do the grocery shopping and think about the meals, but you also have to think about the snacks.
Uh
Oh
huh.
my
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
It takes so much brain power and so much of the mental load is just
Hmm.
coming up with recipes that everybody's going to eat, that everybody
Yep.
likes. And I have to say, I started doing really simple dinners, and I
Yeah.
think it makes a huge difference. Like, we're talking like, you know, those meats that you can buy, they're like pre-seasoned or whatever, and you just like
Yeah.
throw it on the grill. That is
Yeah.
my favorite thing right now because
Yeah.
I'll either do a sheet pan meal or we'll grill something and
Yeah.
then throw some veggies, rice, potatoes, whatever on the side because it's just
Yeah.
the easiest way to do it. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Like, otherwise, people send me recipes and I look at recipes, and if there's like more than five ingredients, I'm out. It's too much
Yeah.
brain power. My brain can't handle it. I don't want to think
Yep.
about it. Like, it's
Yeah.
just too much. Because seriously, who decided that this is my job?
I don't know, but I seriously did not agree to this. So we eat out. You're much better, honestly, at like you figured out the hack to make the simple recipes at home. I
Yeah.
have yet to actually figure that hack out. We admittedly eat out all of the time. Like we're starting to get better at it. And here's what I have recently discovered. So I use the Cozy app. I don't know if you use that too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. So on the Cozy app, it has the ability to create the different lists. So you have your grocery list when you run out of things, and then you put it on there, and it's basically my brain. But what I also did was started a dinner list. So I have it as like headings like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then below what I've started doing is writing out all the dinners that we do make at home because then I just take those and insert them in. And then, like, oh, and then if I have it, then I put it at the bottom of the list so that I know, like, oh, yeah, we just had that one. So let's see what all these other ones up here. It's a work in progress. This is, again, not perfect, but I will say it has kind of been working when we get to the point where we're both like, what's for dinner? And both of us, like me and my husband. And again, my husband is really good about sharing the mental load with everything.
Hmm.
We're pretty 50-50 here, but for some reason, like we both are stubborn on, we don't care what's for dinner. So one of us is going to have to decide, but neither of us really want to decide. So, and then the other problem is that we have picky kids. Like,
Yeah.
and they cycle through it. So like my oldest used to be the pickiest. He is now the least picky person ever. So then now my middle is actually probably the most picky. And then my youngest, she's just like, I'll eat whatever as far as she doesn't actually eat our dinners. She just eats like a bowl of cereal or a waffle sandwich, or she's like, I'll find something. It's fine. Like she very rarely eats our dinner because she doesn't eat meat. She only eats chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Like to her, like meat is not a thing. She doesn't like it. She's like you. She does not like to eat meat.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten
So
better.
yeah, uh-huh, fair, fair, fair,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
But it's a whole thing. I don't know. So that's what's been working for me. I'll let you know at like the end of the year if it has consistently worked. But I did do that. I have also started buying. And we just started this last month. The like big fruit bowl, assorted fruit,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's more expensive if you think about like the amount of stuff that you're getting. But realistically, if I go to buy all the different types of fruit that they put into this pre-cut fruit bowl salad for $15 at Baker's, if I go buy all those different fruits and then I cut them up, yes, I would have more fruit. However, it would go bad faster than my family can eat it. So at
Hmm.
this point, the $15 for like 3 to 4 days of assorted fruit to just throw on the table for snack time or dinner time, absolutely life-saving. That's
Yeah.
been like the biggest thing that we've just added in. I
I
love
just
it.
think you have to find those hacks that work for you. And like, yeah, the
Yeah.
pre-cut fruit, it is more expensive and stuff. But if you're not
Mhm.
eating it that much, it's the thing that you
Yeah.
have to buy because it makes it worth it. Now, we go through
Yes.
so much fruit that that would not be worth it for my house
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we eat so much fruit. Now, I am like Megan. I don't eat a lot of meat. I eat a little bit with dinner, but like very
Yeah.
minimal.
Yeah.
It's only because I'm adult now. I'm trying. Um, but Iris, my 5-year-old, is like Megan as well, and she is very picky about meat. She doesn't like a
Hmm.
lot of it, and so our safe food is fruit. So we
Yeah.
have strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, apples, plums, peaches, like literally every kind of fruit, the little orange cups, like
Yeah.
everything, so that we have options during the day. Because
Yep.
that's like our go-to snacks and stuff, especially when we're running around. So
Yeah.
that would not work for me. But what does work for me is like the frozen veggies. Um,
Mm.
I don't like them just like steamed or whatever. And I will
Yeah.
stand by this. I think people, when they say they don't like veggies, I think they just don't know how to make them good, or
Yeah.
they're scared to put things on them. And I deal with this even like as a trainer because
Hmm.
you hear people being like, oh, if you put cheese on your broccoli, it doesn't count. Well, I disagree. Put the cheese on your broccoli. If that's
Yeah.
what it takes to get you to eat it, do it. And so my recent hack is the frozen veggies. So like the
Yeah.
frozen Brussels sprouts and whatever, green beans, broccoli, all that stuff. Cause then I'll like smash them and roast them with like Parmesan and salt. And they're so yummy.
Yeah.
You have to
I'll
find
have
the
to try that.
hacks. You have to
See,
find the hacks.
we're not admittedly, we are not a veggie
Yeah.
family. I need to be a lot better about that. We're a salad family. Like we can do salads all day,
Yeah.
every day, but we are not a veggie family. We're trying. We're a work in progress. The fact that we're eating at home more than eating out, I feel like is baby steps and
Yeah.
massive baby steps from where we were. Because honestly, I understand why people eat out. First of all, it usually costs about the same,
Yeah.
especially in today's age.
Yes.
And second, then everybody can get what they want. And then there's no fighting versus one dinner. I have to figure out how to, appease five different people.
Yeah.
I'm not as picky. I'll go along with it, whatever. My husband's getting better about being less picky too. My oldest is getting better about being less picky, but then he'll also, if he doesn't like dinner, he'll just go make a box of mac and cheese because he's a teenager and that's
Yeah.
just what they do.
Yep.
Um, but kind of finding that balance of like, okay, we're making dinner this night that my oldest is going to eat. And then we're making dinner this night that my middle is going to eat. And then we're making dinner this night that I know my youngest is going to eat. And then there's always going to be at least two people complaining about dinner.
Yeah. It's
It's
exhausting.
exhausting. Oh, it's terrible.
Yes, it is though. It's so hard. And then like when you do cook it, I think that's the hard thing for moms or the parent that's cooking, what
Hmm.
even if it's the
Yeah.
dad, you go through and like you think about this meal and you take the time to make it and you cook it and it is the worst, the absolute
Hmm.
worst thing
Yep.
to have your kids
Yep.
sit down and go, "Ugh, I don't
Hmm.
want to eat." Like it is the worst because you're
Yeah.
like, I just spent all this time making this food that I know you like all of these
Hmm.
ingredients. I always tell my 5-year-old that because she's in that phase where she gets a little pickier.
Hmm.
And I always tell her, I'm not going to make something that you don't like. I'm not going to
Yeah.
make something spicy. I'm not going to make something that you don't like. Like, but it's such like a buzzkill when they just sit down and you,
Uh-huh.
ugh.
My problem is honestly, there are times where I get to the point where this is why I like I love crock pot meals and I love
Yeah.
like meals that simmer because if I am standing there cooking an intense meal, and maybe the problem is that they're too intense. I don't mind grilling. I'm
Yeah.
actually the grill master at our house. Grilling is great for me. But for me to have to sit there and like slave over a hot stove, like to cook like a more elaborate meal that takes 45 minutes. By the end of that 45 minutes, to be honest, I'm over it and I don't want to eat it. So now I'm like, well, I've spent 45 minutes. You all eat this food. I'm going to go make a bowl of cereal because I don't want to eat this anymore. Which is
Yeah.
why, like, I always try and find, and casseroles are hard in our family because, again, pick your family. And even crock pot meals are harder,
Yeah.
but the reason I do those is because if I do have to stand there and cook for 45 minutes, I literally don't want the food. Like, I'm good. Thanks. No, thank you. It's not, it no longer interests me.
It reminds me of when you go grocery shopping. You go grocery
Yeah.
shopping, you go to Costco, you get all the food, and then you come home and you're like, well, I'm not cooking.
Yeah.
I just picked out all
Right.
the food. I don't want to stand here and cook.
Right.
So, yes, we're
Right.
full of groceries, but I'm not cooking tonight. I'm all done.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so here's what I want. I want our listeners to actually chime in with some dinner hacks that they have that they found, what works for them. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
would love to hear some like easy,
Kid friendly.
affordable, kid friendly, family friendly, done quickly dinners that we can just throw out there so
Yeah.
that we can hopefully all like take a little bit of load off of our mental space with
Yeah.
eating dinner. Because to feed people 3 times a day, every day for the rest of your life, just feels a little extreme to me. It
It's
feels rude.
so much. And I will
It is.
say, like, going into hacks about like making dinner better and easier, I do want to
Yeah.
know also what people are doing, like, as far as family dinners go. I just want to know, like, are we eating dinner as a family? Are you kind of hodgepodging it? Like, what's the vibe that everybody goes with? For the
Yeah.
most part, we do eat dinner as a family at the kitchen table. And the
Yeah.
one hack that I saw probably like 6 or 7 months ago that I implemented that has made a huge difference is candles. We
Oh.
have like candles at our dinner table and we dim the lights and we are literally eating dinner by like minimal light and candlelight. And I originally saw it as an ADHD hack to help with my 5-year-old because it kind of it brings you down, it gets you more relaxed and ready. And
Uh-huh.
but I love it now. Like it helps. I think everybody get in that mindset. Okay, now we're
Yeah.
together. The lights are low, we've got the candles, and then it kind of forces more dinner time conversation. So I want to
Yeah.
know if there's any other ones out there that you guys like that you've
Yeah.
implemented that works. Like what's the vibe? How are we making
Yeah.
it better?
Yeah. Now I am curious to see how that carries on through the older kids
Yeah.
because we are more we have sports and we have
Yes.
activities after school. We always are like we eat really early. And
Yeah.
this is a hack that I actually learned when my kids were younger and I picked it up and just like embraced the heck out of it. So we eat at like usually between 4:30 and 5:30 at the absolute latest
Yeah.
because when they come home from school they're starving anyway, so I would almost rather just have dinner ready to go and then they can have a snack later before
Yeah.
they go to bed, and so then they have that heavier meal right after school. A lot of people don't do that, and we have had to kind of get away from that a little bit just with dance classes, and now we are getting into that busy season where my oldest does have a spring sport and my middle does have a spring sport. And so now we're getting into sports season,
Yeah.
more so. So it will be more crockpot meals where we just have to grab what you can when you can type things on hand, having deli meats on hand, having charcuterie board stuff on hand, just grab and go versus our slower dinners. But that would have been really good to do when my kids were younger. So
Yeah.
anybody who has young kids, please implement that. I think it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Now, I do like the grab and go dinners. We call it
Yeah.
a hoopla. And I started this the year that I was a single mom, like solo mom. Okay. My co-parent
Yeah.
was overseas. Like Tyler and I were long distance at the time. So I was like full solo
Yeah.
parent. And I started this then. We call it a hodgepodge. Okay. So
Yeah.
I get my kids a plate and I say, okay, it's a hodgepodge dinner. You get start in the fridge. You got to pick things in the
Mhm.
fridge and then pick whatever you want. So it's almost like they're own version of a Lunchable.
Yeah.
But I started it because I was just so mentally exhausted and like I just couldn't. I couldn't think
Hmm.
about the dinner that night. It was too much for me. I didn't want to eat out again. I didn't want to go anywhere. Like we were home, whatever. And now it's my kids' favorite dinner. Like they
Yep.
ask for it all the time. And I actually really love it too.
I think that's a great hack to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
just the grab and go, just like you have to do when
Yeah.
you're older, because you're running
Uh-huh.
around more. It's super busy. Like
Yeah.
you don't have time to sit and eat.
Right.
Okay, so I think talking about like the failures and the struggles,
Yep.
what do you think is like the underlying emotional toll with the constant disruptions and changes in schedule? Like, why do you think that's so hard for parents and for moms?
Well, I think that there's always to have consistency obviously just helps your brain almost go into autopilot where
Hmm.
you know what's coming next. And so you don't have to worry about it because it's just insert A, B, C, D. Here we go. Insert A, B, C, D. There's a mindlessness to it. But when everything changes and you have like new seasons and you have new, like again, our spring season is our busiest season. So I know coming up, we are about to have our busiest season.
Hmm.
It took me probably 10 years to figure out. Like it took me a long time to be like, okay, mentally we need to prepare for our busy season. And
Yeah.
that means that we have to lower our expectations. But if you go into your busy seasons with your high expectations where you do have more time to do the candlelight dinners and all that, then when you go and you have the busy season and you don't have time for that candlelight, it's almost like there's like this force fighting you, and then it just makes it harder to kind of get through the day because you're like, oh my gosh, what is fighting? What is fighting? Versus if you just remember, oh yeah, it's our busy season. Let's lower the bar and
Hmm.
then we'll just let things flow smoother. It just works so much better. But I think that that comes with, again, it took me 10 years to figure it out. You would think that it wouldn't take me 10 years, but it did. It took me 10 years to be like, oh, yeah, this is normal. It's a season and it will pass. So we will just do what we have to do to make it easy to get through that so that things can flow. Maybe, we don't have perfect dinners every night. Maybe it is more hodgepodge. Maybe we just make sure that we have things that we can grab and go. Maybe that looks like 2 or 3 nights a week versus even just one night. And then you just adjust your expectations accordingly, which I think really honestly helps mentally because then you don't feel like a failure
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, it's fine. This is just where we are. And come summertime, we can have those more elaborate dinners where we are eating as a family and kind of connect back in. So I think it just
Yeah.
changes on your season. Yeah.
I think that going into that season and like lowering your expectations is
Hmm.
really helpful. And I think it takes practice, but I think it's
Hmm.
something that moms do need to hear and parents need to hear because
Yeah.
especially again in the world of social media, you're seeing all of these things and oh, this is what we do every night. And like you kind of feel bad when you aren't able to do those things. But
Yeah.
realistically, you're never going to be able to do all of those things. You
Right.
aren't. And so, I think going into that and being like, okay, this is going to be really busy, but we're spending time together. We're doing the activities. Like we've got this moment in the car together. It's almost like looking for the glimmers in life, right? Like
Yes.
you're looking for the
Yeah.
glimmers in your parenthood too. We're like, okay,
Hmm.
we're not sitting down at the table, but you know what? Me and my teenager are in the car listening to music. He's telling me about his day. Like, what a win, and just
Yes.
shifting your perspective so that that
Yep.
guilt doesn't follow you into that season.
Well,
I
yeah.
think
So
we
we
can
just
call
need
it.
our community to chime in and see what they think.
Yeah. So send us your easy recipes. Send us your dinner time
Yep.
hacks.
Yep.
Buy the poster board in bulk.
100% always. Seriously. Just
Huge
buy it now.
hack.
In fact, even see if you can do it on Target Drive Up or see if Amazon will just ship it to you. Honestly, it's
Oh,
worth it.
that seriously, do it because that's so
Mhm.
smart. It's such a
You're gonna need it.
such a good seasoned mom move.
Okay. I say we call it then.
Okay,
All
perfect.
right. Bye, guys. Have a great
Thanks for
day.
being here.